Hey everyone, it's Chris with A Bells and all is well. Hope you're doing okay on this Saturday. I've been not posting. I haven't posted for a while. It's just I'm getting over this cold that I had. It was really in my throat. Couldn't really talk. Couldn't really get a full sentence out. I'm on the mend, thankfully. Knock on wood. And I'm able to post again. So I thought I'd follow up on my previous posts, on some of my previous posts where I talked about giving a market update, and we're seeing what we're seeing as of October 1st. So, not a surprise to many of us that Swatch Group announced that anywhere between a 7 to 10% increase on their brands. And I'm picking on Swatch Group because even though a lot of people talked about Omega, Swatch Group owns a lot of brands. They have, there's a lot of brands under this umbrella, including Tissot, Mito, Hamilton, Swatch, Certina, Rado, Longines. So it's not just Omega that was affected by this price increase. And we know that a lot of us, especially on Watch Talk or a better part of Ben's Army or Ben's Kids, we buy these watches a lot or are big, consumers of these watches. At least I know I am. So from a retail perspective, what does this mean? But basically, as consumers, we are going to see a big price increase, a significant price increase on the sale of these watches going into the holiday season, which is, it's probably the death knell for a lot of retailers. But for Swatch Group, who is already struggling, as we know, earlier this year they reported that they were, down 7% uh, for the first half of 2025. A lot of this they blamed on China not buying, but I can't imagine that now in the second half of this of 2025 that a lot of it's going to be based off of the tariffs and the USA purchase slowdown. And I started looking into some of the data, and I wanted to see, well, what part of the import business does watches make for Switzerland into the US? And I was able to pull this in 2024. It was the third largest thing that they sent to us, aside from drugs and precious metals, precious stones. So that's $6.47 billion worth of goods, clocks and watches. I don't know how many clocks cost that much, but you get the idea. It's their third highest commodity they're sending over to the importing into the U.S. So this isn't jump change for them. They're definitely going to be hurting. I think the latter half of this year is going to be very difficult. And I've asked some of my AD friends, have they seen a huge decrease in volume coming in from not only from Omega but from other Swiss watch brands? And their answer has always been yes. They're not seeing as many, whereas they usually get a delivery every Tuesday, let's say. And in that Tuesday delivery, they might have 20 to 25 watches, depending on the brand. Like if it's Omega, they might have a bunch of Seamasters or some other Speedies. If it's a Tudor, they might have, a certain amount of other ones of Black Bays and certain allotment of Black Bays. But they're seeing a significant decrease in those shipments coming into the U.S. And they make no bones about it, saying that it's because of the tariffs. I'm changing up, this is my new logo. I thought I'd throw it up there. Anyway, so what does that mean for me as a dealer? For me on the secondary market, you're still pretty good. What's going to happen now is that you might see a ton of new or almost new, fairly new watches flood the market in terms of flood the secondary market. Maybe people looking to cash in, people maybe holding inventory. We're saying right now, it's the real big thing is that there's companies like Rolex, Tag Heuer, they haven't really announced a price increase as of yet. So it's really these sort of Omega, these I would say mid to lower tier luxury end watches, luxury type watches that are really impacted by this. But as the demand or the inventory, I shouldn't say demand's always there. The inventory of those secondary market watches dries up. The new, those come from new watches, people buying new watches and then selling them or trading them in, is going to decrease significantly. And then you're going to see an impact on prices in the secondary market. I've talked to a few dealers and I know a lot of them have rushed to kind of cash in on that. I had a Speedy that I sold just recently, actually just finalized the sale today. It was a 2022, great condition, had all the tags, everything. I made some money off of it, but I I wasn't pricing it way below some of the, or way above what I've seen some of the other older models being priced for. I also have a Seamaster S&P, the Daniel Craig, the black on black aluminum bezel, black um, laser engraved wave dial version, the newer version. That's a 2025, August 2025 one. And I think I've priced it pretty competitively with the market, where I've seen others going way, way higher. Here's the black on black S&P. I just thought that if you don't follow me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. I post all that kind of stuff, and usually I do previews to stuff before I put it on like eBay or Reddit or any of the other watch socials, sales platforms. But anyway, so what we might see is so as that, again, like I said, as that inventory dries up in the secondary market, then you're going to see, because now, whereas like if you come to me and you said, Chris, I want to get a brand new Omega, I could get you a brand new Omega, but it's going to be a percentage off retail, but the percentage off retail is going to be a lot less than it would have been, say before October. Another new logo I was playing with Canva and trying to do different logos. Anyway, so that's where we're at right now. So it'll be interesting to see going into the holiday season what happens if sales start to run slower. I know that I'm not seeking out as much inventory. I'm still buying, not seeking out as much inventory. But the real sort of X factor right now is Rolex, because Rolex kind of sets the bar. And with them not announcing, at least for the time being, any sort of price increases as of yet, then we may see a stabilization across, because a lot of people are bought Rolexes thinking they're going to get big payday in the secondary market. Now some watches of course will still continue to do that, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Of course, it's something as a dealer I'm always tracking, so I'll give you an update maybe going into maybe we'll do it monthly. I don't know. You let me know if this was helpful, if this was all just boring, but or useless to you. Please let me know that too. But anyway, hope you're doing well again on this Saturday. Take care of yourselves, and I'll be back again soon. Take care.